The story begins during the Cold War between the USA and Russia. A secret Soviet Union organization called Patriot is running experiments on people from different nations, turning them into superheroes to defend their homeland. However, a mysterious explosion destroys the lab and brings the experiment to an end. After this, the whereabouts of the superheroes and the scientists become unknown. In the present day, the Russian army is testing its new robots. These advanced AI robots don't require human operators. The tests are going well until the robots suddenly turn on their own forces, attacking tanks and helicopters. The army is powerless against them, and the robots quickly destroy all the military vehicles. They then attack and eliminate the generals and technicians. It's revealed that Dr. Kuratov, one of the original scientists from the Patriot Project, is behind the attack. He has acquired superpowers, allowing him to generate electricity and control machines. He takes control of all the robots and leaves with them. Later, the Ministry of Defense holds a meeting. Major General Nikolai explains that during the Cold War, Kuratov was in charge of the Patriot Project's technology department, working on a project called Module 1 to control any vehicle remotely. But his experiment failed, and the project was shut down. Kuratov grew jealous of Professor Victor, the head of the Patriot Project, because Victor's experiment to create super-powered humans was a success. To prove himself a greater scientist, Kuratov decided to steal Victor's research for his own experiments. Many people became victims of his actions, leading to his arrest. However, he escaped and hid in his lab. When the army raided the lab, Kuratov had set traps, causing a massive explosion that killed everyone. The army believed Kuratov was dead, but he survived, and the chemicals from the explosion merged his body with his Module 1 experiment. Nikolai concludes that to defeat him, they must find the superheroes he helped create. Meanwhile, Kuratov is seen stealing military vehicles and resources. After the meeting, the Ministry of Defense decides to reopen the Patriot organization, putting Major Elena in charge. Elena is tasked with finding her team, and the mission is named The Guardians. They begin their search and first find a superhero named Ler in a hidden temple in Armenia, where he is living as a hermit to forget his past. When Elena talks to him about the Patriot Project, Ler demonstrates his powers by levitating rocks and says he wants nothing to do with it. However, when Elena reveals that Kuratov is alive, Ler agrees to join them, seeking revenge. Next, they travel to East Kazakhstan, where we see another superhero named Khan. When agents approach him in armed vehicles, Khan uses his super speed to take them all down with his blade. He stops when he sees Lear, who convinces him to join their cause for revenge. After that, they go to northern Siberia, where a third superhero, Arsus, is living in the forest. When Arsus spots soldiers, he transforms into a beast and attacks them. He then sees Ler and Khan. Wanting revenge as well, he agrees to join them. They now travel to Moscow to find the last superhero, Ksenia, who has become a famous performer. She uses her power of turning invisible in water for her shows. After a performance, Ksenia finds Khan in her dressing room and attacks him. Khan uses his speed to evade her, trying to remind Ksenia that he's a friend, but she attacks again. Ler arrives, and Ksenia attacks him too. Ler wins the fight, as he was the one who originally taught her how to fight. Arsus then appears and explains to Ksenia that because of their powers, none of them have aged in 40 years. He says that even if she doesn't remember them, she can join their quest for revenge. Meanwhile, we see Kuratov, who has created his own clone army. Back at the Patriot headquarters, Ksenia explains her memory only goes back to when she was found by doctors near Sevastopol. No one could identify her, and she only learned her name from a ring she was wearing. The doctors said her memory might return over time, but it never did. Ksenia soon noticed she wasn't aging, so she started traveling to avoid attention. She explains her powers. She can become invisible in water and can control her body temperature to adapt to any situation. Just then, one of Elena's officers arrives with information that they've located Kuratov in a junkyard, which he's using as a command center. The team heads to the location. As it's raining, Ksenia becomes happy and turns invisible in the downpour. They soon realize their signals are jammed, cutting off communication with headquarters. The four of them split up to attack from different directions. Ksenia recklessly heads inside. The guards there have special goggles that allow them to see her body heat. They immediately use a special weapon to freeze her. Elsewhere, Arsus and Khan use their powers to take down numerous guards. When Khan stops moving, a guard hits him with a paralyzing dart. Arsis is also trapped in a net. Inside, Lair creates a small earthquake and takes out all the guards before covering his body with stones. Kuratov then appears and attacks Lair. Lair's attacks have no effect on him. Kuratov overpowers Lair, breaking his back and injuring him severely. Later, we see Lair, Khan, and Arsis locked in Kuratov's force field cell, where he tells them he knows all their powers and weaknesses. That's why he equipped his guards with weapons designed to capture them. Kuratov asks them to join him, but Arsis flatly refuses. Kuratov gives them 24 hours to reconsider. Arsis then throws his knife towards Kuratov, but the force field stops the knife. Kuratov then gathers the stolen tanks and attacks the city. News reports claim that the army's tanks and a space transmitter have been stolen. The reports state that an anonymous enemy is marching towards Moscow, causing citizens to flee. It's revealed that Kuratov made a deal with General Dolgov. If he handed over the superheroes, Kuratov wouldn't take anything. But Kuratov goes back on the deal and eliminates him. He plans to initiate his module project by connecting the transmitter to multiple towers to send a signal to a Russian satellite. This will give him control over all satellites and everything on Earth. Meanwhile, Elena takes Lair back to headquarters. Once he recovers, he sadly tells Elena that because of his powers, he doesn't age and had to watch his own daughter grow old and pass away. Kuratov's old lab partner, Victor, then comes to meet Elena. He explains that he has been in hiding but came forward after seeing Kuratov on the news, knowing they'll need his help. Victor immediately begins working on healing Lair. He also gives Elena the location of Kuratov's secret lab and tells her to rescue the others. Elena's team raids the lab, takes down the guards, and frees the captives. Khan leaves without a word. Meanwhile, Kuratov is moving the towers through the city. Elena talks to Arsis, who is worried about Ksenia. He met her after many years, but she doesn't remember him, so he has decided to keep his distance. Arsis also expresses his fear that one day he might permanently turn into a wild animal. Elena promises him she won't let that happen, and that Victor might find a cure. Elsewhere, Victor is in Kuratov's secret lab studying his clones when Kuratov appears. He accuses Victor of betrayal for achieving results with the superheroes by working alone. Kuratov vows to show the world who the real genius is. He then releases a poisonous gas into the lab, leading to Victor's demise. Later, Kuratov connects the towers and sets up the space transmitter. The moment he activates the machine, the Patriot system detects it and understands his plan. To stop him, they dispatch fighter planes. Kuratov orders the stolen robots to fire on the planes, destroying all of them. On top of a building, Elena finds Khan, who tells her about his past. He had a brother who was a great fighter. Kuratov made him powerful, and afterwards, Khan challenged his brother to a fight. During the battle, he lost control and ended his brother's life. Elena sympathizes and reminds him that the city needs him now. The team then regroups. Elena informs the Guardians that new suits and weapons have been made for them. Arsis gets a cannon with a targeting system connected to his nervous system that will become fully automatic when he is in beast mode. Khan's suit will protect him from all kinds of damage. Lair's suit ensures he always has rocks available, and he's given a special whip to channel his electromagnetic power. Ksenia is shown her suit, which allows her to become invisible at will and make anything she touches invisible too. The four of them practice with their new gear. They struggle at first but eventually learn to control them. Kuratov is charging the towers to send the signal, giving the Guardian team only 1 hour to stop him. The team plans to destroy the tower's force field and escape quickly, as rocket launchers will soon destroy Moscow. Lair enters the area through a subway tunnel and begins taking out guards. Meanwhile, Arsis and Ksenia fight the guards on the streets. Ksenia takes them out while invisible, and Arsis enters beast mode to eliminate the rest. Ksenia then rides on Arsis's back to meet Lair. Khan reaches the tower by plane, but robots attack his aircraft. This makes it difficult for Khan to jump from the plane. Elsewhere, Arsis, Lair, and Ksenia start crossing a large pipe to reach Kuratov's tower. Guards begin firing on them, causing Arsis to slip. Lair activates his whip to create a shield. Just then, Khan jumps from the plane and takes down the shooting guard. In Kuratov's lab, Elena finds Victor, who is still alive but doesn't have much time. Victor tells Elena that if the superheroes unite their energy, their powers will be amplified, allowing them to defeat Kuratov. The four Guardians enter the tower and reach the generator. Ksenia grabs it to short-circuit it with her body heat. It causes her immense pain, but she successfully disables the force field around the tower. Arsis catches Xenia just before she collapses. The army wants to destroy the tower, but Elena tells them to wait to give the Guardians a chance for revenge. The Guardians confront Kuratov, who easily disables Arsis's cannon and Lur's whip. He then beats up Khan. Xenia turns invisible to distract him and touches Lur, making him invisible too. Together, they trap Kuratov with the whip. Khan tries to strike him, but Kuratov is too strong and breaks free, pushing them all back. Arsis gets up in beast mode and attacks Kuratov, but Kuratov strikes him down. At the same time, the army gives the order to launch missiles. Khan sees a plane, attaches his grappling line to it, and starts pulling his teammates away. However, Kuratov takes control of the plane, forcing Khan to cut the line. They all fall into a river. The army launches its missiles, but Kuratov takes control of them and detonates them in the sky. He then resumes his attempt to contact the satellite. Elena meets the Guardians by the riverbank and tells them what Victor said. The Guardians decide to take the risk and concentrate all their power onto Lur. This creates an energy blast that destroys the tower, leading to Kuratov's demise. A news report then announces that the city has been saved from an unknown force. The existence of the Guardians was kept secret. The public believes the armed forces saved the city. Elena thanks the Guardians for their help. Ksenia's memory has returned, and she wants to start a new life with Arsis. The Guardians promise to return if another major crisis arises. Before they leave, Elena informs them that they have found the other Guardians. Sometime later, two men stop a van. Elena gets out and fights them. She learns from one of them that they were sent by a man named Ferrum,